today says Israel made a huge mistake attacking them and will be punished. And if the U.S. joins Israel, Ayatollah Khamenei says it'll undoubtedly result in irreparable damage for America.
Speculation's growing that President Donald Trump might help Israel destroy Iran's nuclear facilities. The Pentagon has also sent more warplanes to the region. Speaking to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, top Iranian diplomat Ali Bahraini warning his country would respond to direct U.S. involvement.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The president's calling on Iran to surrender, but posted on Truth Social, patience is wearing thin. And Israel keeps up the attacks with more strikes today on nuclear and missile facilities.
Our mission is clear: to remove the threat at its source.
Israeli Army spokesman Effie Defrin, as Iran keeps firing back. Those are air raid sirens overnight in Tel Aviv.
People here in central Israel were sent scrambling for the bomb shelters as Iranian missiles flew in. There were two separate attacks just after midnight local time.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. He reports most of the 30 missiles were shot down. The ones that got through did not cause any casualties.
Remarkable video from the sky over Jerusalem as an Iranian missile re-enters the atmosphere and burns like a comet. Also, with that missile, no reports of injuries.
There's no curfew anymore in Los Angeles. The mayor lifted it, citing less violence and destruction of the protests against illegal immigration raids. An appeals court has heard a challenge to President Trump's National Guard troop deployment to deal with those protests. They're celebrating another championship in Florida after the Panthers won hockey's Stanley Cup again.
This is why we become parents, to enjoy the best things in life with our children. I love my kids. Go Panthers!
Florida repeated as champs, beating the Edmonton Oilers the second straight year, winning Game 6 last night 5-1. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax. Call 1-855-RoofMax for a free roof inspection.
House Republicans already passed what they call the big, beautiful budget bill, and they're keeping a close eye on the Senate version of the legislation that funds President Trump's agenda, from increased border security to extending the 2017 tax cuts. Congressman Mike Lawler is pushing back on the Senate's plan that undoes the increase to the cap on state and local tax deductions to $40,000. He just told Fox Business,
"We need to provide real middle-class tax relief. We negotiated. That's the deal. Stick to the deal."
Lawler says if the Senate refuses to go along with the House on the $40,000 cap, he will vote against the entire bill, which might kill it since it only passed in the House by one vote. And that is not the only contentious issue in that bill.
Missouri's Josh Hawley is one of the GOP senators grappling with the provisions in the massive tax and spending package. Hawley has concerns with changes to provider taxes that he believes could negatively impact rural hospitals.
I've got 35 hospitals, rural hospitals right now, that have fewer than 25 beds, and over half of those are currently in the red. So I don't want to see any of those close.
Meanwhile, Hawley does like that the bill contains an expansion of compensation for people who've been impacted by nuclear radiation, which the senator has been pushing for years. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
President Trump's going to give TikTok more time, again delaying a deadline set by law for TikTok to be shut down unless it cuts ties to its Chinese parent company over security concerns.
Trump says he believes Chinese President Xi Jinping will ultimately approve a deal to divest TikTok's business to the U.S. He signed an order in April to keep TikTok going for 75 days after a potential deal to sell the app to American owners fell through. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt released a statement saying this next extension will last 90 days, which will help ensure that a deal is closed. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after a sell-off. This ahead of the Federal Reserve's decision on interest rates. No rate cut is expected this time. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Governor Pritzker praising Illinois leaders for passing a balanced budget for the 7th year in a row. He signed the fiscal year 2026 Illinois budget. The $55 billion spending plan includes spending cuts and hundreds of millions of dollars in tax increases on tobacco products, vaping, and online sports books. Herb Jones closing its facility in Champaign next year. Closure is part of plans to expand its operations in Arcola to streamline and modernize its manufacturing footprint. The manufacturer of graduation and achievement products expected to shut down its plant in Champaign in March of next year. A $10.5 million road improvement project starting in Mattoon. IDOT says the project taking place on Illinois Route 16 between Swords Drive and Lakeland Boulevard. It's a distance of 2.5 miles. Project includes patching, resurfacing, intersection improvements, including new signals and sidewalk ramps. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Good morning, friends. It is 7:06 in Champaign-Urbana and downtown Philo. There's Diane Ducey.
Hello.
I'm Stevie J. Meteorologist Greg Solier is prepared to tell us about maybe rain. This
Morning.
is my wife's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to Janet.
Happy birthday to Janet.
She is fantastic and sure happy she was born.
My husband Mike's at the end of the week. So many parallels in our life with our birthdays being, days apart in April, and our spouses are in June.
Yeah.
I would have said there, Mr. J. I'm so fortunate to have married her. So
yeah, I still say.
But I guess you got to be born first, right?
I still say thanks for marrying me.
Absolutely.
And I still
Me
say,
too.
and then sometimes I still say, you married me. All
Where'd
right.
you see? That's my phrase. Where do you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they see a lot in Mr. Scientist here. Our weather this morning brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Kurt Lenschel. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there. Might want to get that home and auto priced out and get that life insurance going on.
Yeah.
Get some peace of mind knowing that when the inevitable happens, your loved ones will have some money. And
T's crossed, I's dotted type stuff.
It's really important to do that. Check your weather now. Meteorologist Greg Solier. Is it true? Is it going to rain today?
Yeah, it's going to rain. We've had a couple of clusters and spots. Remember, the past couple of days prior to yesterday, we had some here and there downpours, and of course, the weekend rains. It was a narrow corridor, but we got something out of it around parts of East Central Illinois, West Central Indiana, of which some pretty good shower and thunderstorm business is up east of the I-65 corridor, running from the Mills, or what used to be the Mills, there in northwest Indiana, over towards South Bend to about Indy right now. Back to the west, Quincy, that's beginning to weaken a little bit, but may still result in a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms coming across the river here in the mid to late morning, and some activity just ahead of it. 75 now over at Willard and Savoy. That dew point is up there at 71. You begin to feel the humidity in the air in the summertime season, right around 60 to 65. So a touch muggy. 72 at Rantoul. And so the day goes with variably cloudy skies, some peaks of sun. The more sun we get, the better likelihood that maybe some weather watches get hoisted up, or at least an enhanced risk for some severe weather this afternoon, generally along and east of I-55. We'll be looking at temperatures seasonal, but humidity up there topping out around 86 this afternoon, with again a couple of showers and thunderstorms in spots this morning. The better odds for a line or two this afternoon and early on this evening, with the gusty southwest wind settling on in, but it'll fade after midnight, turn westerly 66. Good looking day tomorrow, sunshine, lower humidity, warm highs of around 83, in the low 60s tomorrow night. Summertime officially 9:42. Friday evening, daytime is partly cloudy, warm at 87. Here comes the heat and humidity for the weekend. Bunch of next week as well. Maybe a quick thunderstorm Saturday morning at 92. That'll be iffy at best, that thunderstorm chance then. Mid-90s, daytime, mid-70s at night. Heat index values up past 100. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe a couple of thunderstorms and portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yeah, it's called Summer.
And Mike with the Illini Collector Car Club.
Oh, boy.
Has that Saturday car show.
Why don't you call the county fair and see if you can get Kessler Hall and put a few cars in there?
There you go.
That's
but
how you
I
do
feel like Cunningham Children's Home campus has a lot of trees. So
yeah,
it could be
sometimes
that
that
we're
does. There's no
strategically
stirring
placed.
of the air. Sometimes it's just.
Don't think it.
It'll be great. Hey.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
those guys are used to it. All
Swimming
good.
pools will be crowded.
Yes.
Do what you do in the summer. That's what you do. All right, good morning. It's 7:10. We will get Brother Johnny on the bottom of the hour. Don't know about Ed Martin. I think he's been totally consumed by the government job. But we will see. Have not heard from him. I know he loves being on. Ed Martin is now the pardon attorney for Donald Trump, and formerly with the Phyllis Schlafly Group.
Okay.
But now he is in government and is also the Assistant Deputy Attorney General for the United States of America. So it's kind of a big wig.
Yeah.
So I know he remembers us, I think. He called me Stan the other day. No, he's a good dude. So if Ed Martin is up, then we'll have both Johnny and he. Otherwise, we talk about what's happening in Israel. The sirens are going off. And Trey Yinks, who we've had on a number of times, was there with his Kevlar helmet on and a lot of shaking going on. You could see him looking left to whoever was directing him. He said, "We need to get inside." "Okay, we got to go."
Okay.
And then he just dragged all the cameramen, all the guys went inside, and one hit pretty near him.
Man.
And so you got these ballistic missiles that Iran is shooting off going straight into space. It comes down like a comet. It's just really interesting to see. Some pilots that were flying out of Dubai had a clear sky and just saw it was like a fireworks show. Just all these missiles, dozens at a time. But it appears Iran is there's just not many options there for them. And they're talking like, you're going to pay and the greatest thing ever and you will be punished. And they got nothing.
I know.
So,
here we are on day 6 now.
Well, if you've got total control of the air, you can do anything you want to that country, including dropping a B-52 bunker buster. I don't know if we should do it. I really don't. I don't know if we have to.
They're certainly clearing out the area, that's for sure. Boy, you see the traffic jams leaving town.
Well, I don't know where this particular, I don't think it's in Tehran, but it's outside in the middle of nowhere, I think. So I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. If you can do anything you want, maybe they don't want to go to the ground, or you can dominate them. So you can say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lessen the damage. We're going to go 3 miles down in your elevator, and we're going to blow it up from within. So we don't have to do a bunker buster and all that other stuff. And I think Israel has that kind of hand dealt to them right now. They're just total superiority. Think about what you can do with an airplane if nobody can shoot you. Anything you want. You want to knock out their oil? We'll knock out their power. We'll knock out their water. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
They're trying not to do that to the mass population, 90% of which you don't want that government. And then it's like, okay, so who picks and chooses who the government is in Iran? I don't know if we should do that either. I'm just not so sure we've had great success nation building.
I suppose we have to get involved in the Middle East.
Well, see, we're involved in a sense that we're advising, we're giving help, and we're giving them weapons and things like that. But does it matter with these radicals what you do? They're going to blame you anyway. What are they going to suicide bomb? They've done all that. That's what they do. So you also want to end it. If you knock out Fordow or wherever that major nuclear 3 mile down, you got centrifuges and things, and I would presume you got to be careful with all that stuff. But even shaking the ground can break a centrifuge, which helps you enrich uranium, which makes the nuclear weapon. So these are the decisions you got to make as a president, I guess. And you certainly want this terror to end. 46 years we've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
The Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Iran, how many died? How many have been affected by this regime for 46 years? A lot. And so what do you want to do? Talk to people that want you dead? We need to end this. I agree with that, but I don't know what we have to do if we have all the weapons, essentially. I think air superiority these days, you can do whatever you want. So I think they're trying to target and do as little damage as possible. They're just firing ballistic missiles. They don't care who dies when Iran sends them. So anyway, we will continue to follow this, talk a little more at the bottom of the hour, some clips. Stand by for that. We do your sports headlines. 7:14, Diane.
All right, big game. Lots of hits from the Cardinals yesterday. Sonny Gray due on the mound today with a 6:40 first pitch here on ESPN 93.5. Let's get more details.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals fell behind in the first inning 1-0, but then took over control of the game with 5 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh on a Burleson home run, 1 in the eighth, 2 in the ninth on a Scott home run to beat the White Sox 12-2.
The Cardinals' bats came alive, exactly what Ollie Marmol had been hoping for, and also he got a great start from Matthew Liberatore, who had been down his last 3 outings, but he was sharp yesterday, giving up 2 runs only in 6 innings of work, and he did not walk a batter.
Lars Nootbaar did not get a hit. His woes continue at the plate, but he swung the bat much better.
Every at-bat was good, but you could say the same thing about Brendan Donovan, who had another 4-hit game.
Brendan Donovan paced the Cardinals 13 hits with 4 of those, and the Cardinals out-hit the White Sox 13-6 and won 12-2. Tonight, it's Sonny Gray 7-2 against right-hander Sean Burke 3-7, 5:45 airtime. Ricky has the lineups at 6:30.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Looked like a good time for the Cubs and all the fans and Illini night with the hats being handed out. I saw various sections cheering on. Our friend Doug Nelson and Janet Ellis Nelson. There was a little Rotary pack of people. I'm not sure if that was one of the giveaways, but I feel like it might have been at that action auction.
Maybe so. I don't know.
And Brad Underwood, I believe, throughout the first pitch. So good stuff happening in Illini Nation, enjoying their friendly confines at Wrigley yesterday. 5-3 winners over the Brewers.
Pete Crow Armstrong has 19 home runs. Shohei Ohtani has 25 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong, what? He's a rookie.
I know.
That guy is either a superstar or one big rookie of the year. I mean, the guy's phenomenal.
Now, if someone texts PCA, because at first I wasn't sure what they were talking about when, in text you abbreviate everything. That is a Pete Crow Armstrong text coming your way. Thank you, Father Joe, for keeping me in the loop on all of that.
Listen, the Cubs are real. They're really spreading out to the point of they could have this clinched in early September. They're just widening this. Cubs are going to have to collapse not to win that Central Division. I mean, they're just better. They're better than everybody, and Craig Counsell is the man.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Cubbies are good, and who knows how good. Maybe they can win another title, maybe another World Series.
Absolutely. Speaking of winning, the Stanley Cup goes to the Florida Panthers, a repeat Stanley Cup performance. 5-1 winners over the Edmonton Oilers, taking that series 4-2. Chris Thomas has hired an associate head coach in Meredith Shamoon. As we get closer and closer to some of the fall sports, they're practicing now. I know for football, it's Western Illinois, August 29th at 6:30.
Well, what did I say? You're going to look at your basketball team pictures and say, who's that? That's exactly what I did yesterday. Weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. They can give you cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. Get a free evaluation at 217-352-0428. Also by Busey for over 155 years. Busey. Member FDIC. Your Fox Business Minute will be coming up. Another peek from Greg Solier and some rain coming up today.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and this Saturday. A couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms here and there on the overnight hours and early on this morning. Activity back to the west, temporarily fading, but it'll come through the area back in this afternoon and a little more solid coverage. And with that, an enhanced risk of maybe some severe weather along the I-55 corridor and points on eastward. In between, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, and humid for the day today. Temperatures up around 86 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will fade later on this evening, turn westerly with scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, low down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity in the air for the day tomorrow, high around 83, but winds will come back around southwest late in the day. Clearing 63 tomorrow night, first day of summertime, Friday evening at 9:42, partly cloudy, warm, daytime highs up around 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend, the better part of next week as well at 92 on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm early morning, windy, hot, humid Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-90s by day, mid-70s at night, couple of thunderstorms the second half of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
The Federal Reserve is not expected to lower interest rates at its meeting, which wraps up today. Another major food producer is eliminating artificial colors from its products. General Mills, maker of Cheerios, Betty Crocker, Bisquick, Pillsbury, and other brands, says 85% of its products already don't include artificial colors. Synthetic dyes will be removed from the rest of its foods by the end of 2027. Kraft Heinz is also eliminating artificial colors from its foods, though 90% of its products already also don't include them. Big bank UBS says its supplier Chain IQ is the victim of a cyber attack. No client data has been affected and it responded swiftly, though some information about the bank was stolen. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to thenateevansgroup.com.
Black Heritage Day, presented by your Quality Ford dealers, returns to Busch Stadium on Sunday, June 22nd. That day, the Cardinals take on the Reds, and with a themed ticket, fans will take home a St. Louis Stars jersey, just like the one worn at the 2024 Negro Leagues tribute game at Rickwood Field. Come early for a special Heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. For tickets or details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Victor Scott II, St. Louis Cardinals for the Louvre.
All right, ESPN 93.5. We've got news about Terry Luttrell, who opened the concert for REO, who fell asleep at the wheel and flipped his car. He's going to be okay, but he has a cracked sternum from the
airbag, essentially,
Yeah,
and that impact when you're rolling the car.
But he was signing autographs and like crazy. He opened the REO with
Yes.
What song did they?
I mean, they did some throwback stuff. There was so many different looks of REO with the different band members in and out, and the different names and things like that. I want to say he was there the 1967 to 72 stint. So it was hits that, we're not really familiar with.
I see.
But the diehard fans knew, and they knew him from his Starcastle.
Yeah,
band
Starcastle
days.
he was lead guy at Starcastle in the early 70s. Actually, probably middle 70s.
Right.
Starcastle was there. So Terry Luttrell, I haven't seen him in 50-some years, but nice dude.
Yes.
I just remember his rabbit boots. He had rabbit fur boots with long hair. when I met him.
I visited with his daughter, Kristen, and just saw him briefly. Our eyes met at City Center. Just so many fans bringing their albums to get signed. And as a matter of fact, leaving City Center, which was the after party show, then going to the hotel, he still had 40 people at the lobby to sign. So he was signing autographs until 4:30 in the morning.
And then he thought he could get to St. Louis.
That's right.
And he fell asleep. I mean,
around Arcola.
We've all driven tired, and it's horrible.
Some of the nurses helping him out said they had seen the show.
Wow.
So they were fans themselves. But, that in retrospect with the Neil Doherty and, of course, Bruce Hall, that was the big draw, and kind of the pulse of the whole thing was to salute Bruce and his roots to Urbana, Mike Murphy, Steve Scorfina, so Alan Gratzer also making an appearance, and really a nod to the history of REO Speedwagon on a Saturday night. To hear that he's coming out of it, I was going to be, very thankful about that he'll just have a day or two, since it's just a slight crack in his sternum there in the front of his chest.
Definitely a blessing he's alive. You roll a car like that.
That's right.
Anyway, Tara Luttrell, 78 years old, former lead singer for REO, and of course led the Star Castle Band. If you're old enough to remember all that, the local stuff. But anyway, good man, and we're glad he's going to be okay. Okay, we do have a Stever. It's from Carpet Weavers. This is the unique one where I actually really put a big deal on this. Because if you've tried to do something of significance, you get the quote, and it's $7,500. And you go, man, well, we've kind of saved our money for this one. Carpet Weavers, if you spend $5,000, $3,000 will go away. So think about how much you can floor or carpet for $5,000. By the way, they've got a kind of a pet carpeting sale right now, where it's failing on my terminology. It's great if you have pets that go pee. Okay, that's kind of, everybody perks up when you got that, because if you've got pets, they go pee.
That's right.
And that's just kind of, they go potty in the house sometimes.
So it's kind of pet proof on the flooring.
Well, it's called the Pets Pick event.
Okay.
It's the Pets Pick event.
All righty.
And it's I think through the weekend. Anyway, you should go to Carpet Weavers on Market View in Champaign, ask about it, because you could probably, we'll announce a winner here pretty soon, but we're kind of collecting names of people that are interested in get $3,000 off of a job, but you do have to spend at least $5,000, but then it's $2,000 if it's $5,000.
Yeah, but you can do that so quickly if you're redoing some rooms, and when you do the floor, everything else pops.
No, it does. Flooring is huge. So they got furniture, they got tile, they got wood, they got obviously all the carpeting, all the smart strategic pet carpeting. Anyway, if you are interested in $3,000 off a spend of at least $5,000, and if you spend $10,000, you only pay $7,000. I mean, that'd be 30% off. So 217-359-2255. Text in Carpet Weavers if you want to be considered. It's a big deal. It's a lot of money, and I know still $5,000, $10,000. That's a lot of money too. But we'll help by the way of $3,000.
Carpet Weavers is right off of Prospect and Market View Drive. If you want to explore your options, to do an online search and say, yeah.
Yep.
If you and your partner would like to take it up a notch, there you go.
All right. It's a big, big deal. One person will get this. So, again, just put your ballot there on the phone, 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line, and you can text that in right now, and then we'll have your name.
In fact, there's a text from John saying, concerning Iran, Clay Travis used the analogy of prescribed antibiotic. If the doctor prescribes an antibiotic pill every day for 2 weeks, you take it once, and then you have to stop because you weaken the virus, but then you come back stronger than ever. Iran's nuclear capabilities need to be eliminated completely while they're down.
But should we drop the bunker buster? Should we do it? Because Israel can't. They don't have it. They don't know how. They just don't. Or do we need to? Because I'm thinking you've got such superiority that couldn't you just fly planes around? They could get nowhere near. They couldn't send any troops near them. You'll just bomb them. You say you can't go near the thing. I've got you, and you're all going to die. So then you go in there with your troops, you go in the facility, you go all the way down, and then you rig it with whatever and let it explode under the ground. You can do that when you got that kind of superiority. So I don't know. I don't know if it even matters. If you want to eliminate it, you put the bunker buster, and that's probably all it'll take. And they'll be decimated from the nuclear program, maybe forever, or at least for a very, very long time. Because I don't think anybody that's really looking at this says it's a great idea for them to develop nuclear. They say it's for energy. They're lying. Period.
Right.
They lie all the time.
I know.
They've been doing this for 46 years. They've been intimidating the Middle East. They've been intimidating everybody they can with their proxies, which are the Hezbollah, Hamas, and Houthis, which are greatly decimated at this time.
Thanks for watching the show, Stevie Jay FM.
Johnny, coming up.
Racing, racing, racing. Friday Night Lights at Farmer City Raceway is a blast. Only $15 admission and kids 12 and under are free. This Friday, June 14th, has Matco Tool Night, $1,000 tool spree to the late mods winner, Dyer's Top Rods mods, and a full show. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City with hot laps at 6:30. Details at farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Iran's supreme leader says in a national address there will be no surrender to Israel and warns U.S. intervention would result in irreparable damage. Fox's Jonathan Savage on this sixth day of the conflict.
Israel says more than 50 fighter jets took part in raids on Tehran this morning, striking a factory that makes centrifuges for Iran's nuclear program. Thousands are said to be fleeing the city following urgent advice from the Israeli government. Iran, meanwhile, sent 2 rounds of missiles towards Israel in the early hours.
No injuries reported there. A federal judge blocks a Trump administration passport policy.
Judge Julia Kobik's ruling means that transgender or non-binary people who are without a passport or need to apply for a new one can request a male, female, or X identification marker instead of being limited to the marker that matches the gender assigned at birth.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Governor Pritzker revealing his name wasn't included on the list of Midwestern officials made by the man charged with killing a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband. Governor said the FBI told him Vance Belter had compiled a list of elected officials, including unnamed Illinois politicians. An online auction's underway for unclaimed property in the state. State treasurer says the auction will run through June 22nd. Items being auctioned include a Chicago Cubs legend, Ryan Sandberg's rookie baseball card, Star Wars comic books, a Yoda Pez dispenser, and Elvis Presley coins. Urbana's Committee of the Whole will discuss the possibility of implementing a grocery tax Monday night. According to the city, all local governments in the state of Illinois have the choice to impose a tax upon all persons engaged in the business of selling groceries at retail in the municipality. The tax would be 1% of the gross receipts of sales. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. We check weather with our meteorologist, Greg Solya, and what looks like absolute rain sometime today. Brought to you this morning by Kramer Siding and Window.
As you are a proud member of the Prairie Home Alliance, when you join in with Kramer Siding and Window, you can take the gutter cleaning off your to-do list with that gutter helmet, and the gutters never clog again. You won't have to get on a ladder. KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and Menendez. Saturday, a couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms here and there on the overnight hours and early on this morning. Activity back to the west, temporarily fading, but it'll come through the area back in this afternoon, and a little more solid coverage, and with that, an enhanced risk of maybe some severe weather along the I-55 corridor and points on eastward. In between, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, and humid for the day today. Temperatures up around 86 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will fade later on this evening, turn westerly with scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, low down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity in the air for the day tomorrow, high around 83, but winds will come back around southwest late in the day. Clear and 63 tomorrow night, first day of summertime, Friday evening at 9:42, partly cloudy, warm, daytime highs up around 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend, the better part of next week as well at 92 on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm early morning. Windy, hot, humid Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-90s by day, mid-70s at night. A couple of thunderstorms the second half of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solye.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Brother Johnny has joined us now from New Orleans, Louisiana, where he's in Bible study. We have efforted Ed Martin. I would suggest Ed doesn't know what day it is. Johnny, this darn government work is just annoying.
Well, he's busy, I'm sure, but there's another element. I think, as you know, Eddie doesn't mince words, and he's got so much going on, and he gets on the air with us. There's no telling where we end up, and then it's like, oh, Ed Martin did this and that, because they're watching Eddie now.
No, that's true.
They're watching his every move.
No, somebody would find out who we are and then listen to all the podcasts. So
no, there's someone on headphones right now listening to us to see if Eddie gets on.
That's scary.
Welcome to the show. We appreciate you listening.
Yes.
Hey, text in if you'd like. That's fine.
Yeah, we see what you got to say. Let's hear it.
There you go.
Yeah, let's go. We'll take you on for sure. I'm going to play something that this person with headsets in Washington is listening to now. This is the Donald Trump running for president montage. I played a little of this, but these are some different clips. When the media, Barack Obama, they heard that Trump's running. He might what?
That State of the Union address, in no part of your mind or brain can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Now, Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. However respectful of the fact that the people have not voted, he's not going to be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over.
I think Donald Trump will be the nominee and will lose badly.
No one's going to be happier than President Obama when Trump loses. No one, except for me.
I think that Donald Trump's campaign is over.
Like it's a zombie, right? Like it's a Walking Dead. It's not.
There's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, keep
the fact that most people think Donald Trump is going to lose probably means Donald Trump is going to lose.
To me, this race is over.
Politico's latest survey of political insiders agrees, quote, Clinton will crush Trump in November.
Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
No,
that's not going to happen.
How about now, Johnny? How about that?
Well, and actually, that level of accuracy they've maintained for the last 10 years because they don't know what's going on, and they just start talking. I remember when he came down the elevator and he said something about, some of them are okay, but they're all criminals, and we were hearing that's it right there, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually right on the money, and I thought he would be a force to be reckoned with. I never said he'd never be president, although after he lost in this 47th president term, I didn't think I could imagine that could happen. Just what they were doing the last 3 or 4 years. But the first time, he was saying the kind of thing that people kind of have been waiting for. And then when he comes, they can't recognize this is the kind of guy we wanted, which is not as much of a politician. And he says what we need to hear. And now he's president for the second time. I think he's doing what needs to be done. And it's gotten so bad that it's harder to fix something the worse it gets. And so I don't think he's doing a bad job, Steve, although lots going on. Yeah. What's the latest?
Well, you've got Iran hitting more ballistic missiles into Israel. Listen, here's what we were talking about in the last half hour. why do I have to drop a bunker buster with my B-52? Israel doesn't have the capability. We have that weapon. It'll go three miles down where the nuclear work is being done on their biggest plant. Why do I even have to do that, John? If we control the air, we can tell them we're coming. And if you bring any troops or anything, we'll just throw a bomb at you. So we just go in, we'll detonate it from within and be much easier. I don't know.
Well,
I think we have total superiority. I don't know if we and they're saying, well, we shouldn't get involved. Guys like Tucker Carlson, who I like, he says Trump's presidency's over. I mean, he's way out there going, this is the worst thing ever. We should never get involved in anything. And I can't believe he pounded on Ted Cruz face to face. What's the population of Iran? Ted didn't know. He said, oh, what are you going to take over the country? What's going on there?
Well, it's something you can have all kinds of opinions on, and especially when you don't know all the background. I'm probably someone at a high level. If Iran gets the nuclear bomb, if they did, then you would have nuclear proliferation to people like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Can you imagine?
No.
A nuclear bomb. And that kind of technology. They would be happy to disperse smaller nuclear bombs. These people want to kill people, but we're on their list. And so we're involved, okay? We are involved. Unfortunately, I, like George Washington, stay out of it, mind your own knitting. It just doesn't work anymore, Steve. We're all everywhere, and we can't have a source of that kind of danger coming from people who've said for the last, 40 years, we're going to take everybody out. We just need a way to do it. And they've been working on this, and according to, I'll go with the intelligence reports, which have been wrong before, but they are getting closer and closer, and they are working on enriching the uranium so they can make the bombs. And the fairly liberal International Atomic Commission said, hey, they're cheating, man. They're trying to build that bomb. And so that's when all this started. That's it. And we haven't been that involved. We're helping defend Israel, for crying out loud, from bombs going into their population centers. So I think that Trump will probably use the bunker buster. I don't think he's going to go back to the table with these guys, because if the regime loses their nuclear card, I think that they will get overthrown. And by the way, we don't want to get, and other than the B-52s helping out with that one buried nuclear facility, we don't want to get involved. But how long do we want to put up with Iran? They'll always work it back. And if they can't do nuclear, they'll do other horrific things. And so the regime needs to go. And I think he'll wait till they take out more of Iranian missile launchers. And they've got 40% of them, they think.
Right.
Israel's fighting the war.
So should we try and pick the next person, or should we let the Iranians do that?
No, we can't. No, that's the risk. It could be worse. I don't know how, but it could be.
Yeah, right.
It could be worse for the Iranians. It could be worse for. That's the risk. So all we want to do is stop their nuclear program, set it back 25 years, and really that's all we want to do. And we shouldn't have to do that. But if anyone has any other ideas, like giving them money, cash, we gave them $1 billion, Obama, in cash. I don't think we should do that. We could lift sanctions and let them get a lot more cash, like what Biden did, and then he blew up the Middle East. Now let's not try that again. I think that Israel's got them right where they want them, and you don't hear a lot of complaining from the other Arab
No, you don't.
nations.
You do not.
They're crossing their fingers. Come on, Trump.
46 years, Bully, and just doing horrific. How many deaths with all their proxies? How many people's lives have been changed because of Iran? It's unbelievable. So we're to get it done, to finish this thing, if you take out the big one, and they're talking, there's rumors that the Ayatollah is trying to get sanctuary in Russia. So I don't know if that would.
Well, I think that's probably the only place he can go. I haven't even heard China. I haven't heard about China.
No, China said this isn't the way to do it, essentially. That's all they said. All right, it's Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, ESPN 93.5. He's ducked out of his Bible study. We appreciate that. Okay, so the media, the CNNs, the MSNBCs have said 211 times peaceful protests in Los Angeles, and one report of saying, these are riots. 1 out of 212. Then there's reports that 7 times a day, the mainstream media have called Donald Trump, on an average, 7 times a day, a Nazi fascist dictator. And that's 100,000 mentions over some time here. So this is what happens when you watch those stations, you watch those TV people and radio and everybody else. This is what happens to humans when they consume all that on social media, on everything else. This is how that sounds. These are 3 different individuals who I would like to suggest are having mental issues. Holding onto a van with criminal migrants.
Let my people go! Let my people go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! I'm out here because I heard the Red Hats were coming. The Red Hats are coming!
The Red Hats are coming!
The Red Hats are coming, so I came out here to mock MAGA.
Okay, so what's the biggest issue that you're concerned about right now in America?
There are so many. My country's being destroyed. I spend a lot of time crying.
I'm just so scared. I'm 74 years old. I worry about everything, and I just am so scared and upset, and I don't understand why people voted for this person.
Maybe we should just unplug everything, John. It's really sad. It really, really
is.
Well,
it's sad, and if they've been, if they're at the point where they can't see a little bit more what's going on and can't discern that a lot of their source has been wrong about a lot of things, then there's nothing you can do to help them. I don't see that the No King Day was that effective. I think there were a lot of other things going on, like the Israeli-Iran war, and I thought that the parade was great for this country, and certainly for the Army and the military.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything dictatorial in Trump's 8-minute speech, which was the shortest speech ever, I think.
Yeah, right.
And really, it was really very uplifting, that part of it. And they're in L.A., but I don't see them. I don't see them in a lot of other. They're there, but you don't see it covered. L.A. seems to be the point because they've got Newsom pushing back. I'm a little concerned about Chicago, Illinois, Steve, because Trump's upping the raids in the cities, and they're the ones that have been ready. They said, we're not going along with it. We're protecting. The governor's going to protect his citizens. The mayor makes Lori Lightfoot look reasonable.
Yep, no question. Well, here's Donald Trump talking about sanctuary cities.
I want them to focus on the cities, because the cities are where you really have what's called sanctuary cities, and that's where the people are. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. I mean, you got a really bad governor in Chicago and a bad mayor, but the governor's probably the worst in the country, Pritzker. But I look at how that city has been overrun by criminals, and New York and L.A., look at L.A. L.A., those people weren't from L.A., they weren't from California, most of those people, many of those people, and that's the focus. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. Of that, vast numbers of those people were murderers, killers, people from gangs, people from jails. They emptied their jails out into the U.S. Most of those people are in the cities, all blue cities, all Democrat-run cities, and they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
Okay, there's Donald Trump on all of that. Mentioning Illinois.
So there's the sanctuary cities, a couple of them, like California, the whole state, and certainly Chicago has kind of picked the fight in a way of, don't come in here, we got this, and you're not taking anybody. We don't care what they did, and we'll decide. They, of course, aren't doing anything. So, of course, that now Trump's go, okay, really? And I think you got JB sees a real opening for the progressive side, because Newsom's trying to go into the middle. He's standing against Trump, but he's talking about both sides of his mouth, and JB can lay those down the law. Then you got your mayor who's, I think, nuts. And I don't know what will happen up there, because, that can get pretty wild. And then you've got a split in the population. It seems like a pretty passionate group that are for the immigration program, as in get these people out of here that are harming us.
Right.
So,
all right. Last thing I wanted to play for you is Arnold Schwarzenegger was on The View, and Joey Behar said, "Aren't you just, when they grab these people, it has to make you upset." Anyway, I'm going to play just the time we have left. Arnold essentially says, when you come to America, you're a guest. You need to act like a guest in my house.
That day.
That's great.
So it's really a great, great celebration. And this is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal, and those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest, and you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is, when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
I don't think that's what The View was looking for out of Arnold.
Well, the View audience clapping is probably historic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
For something like that. Which goes to show you that we're not really all crazy, but we have spokespeople that make it seem like we are, because they keep showing up.
Yeah.
And there are people, we heard three of them, played three of them, who watched The View.
That's right.
And so it's like, what are these people on the air doing, and what's their real motive? Because protecting people who are harming us, the fact that they shouldn't be here is another whole, really, of the whole, was it 10 million, is it 15, is it 20?
Yeah.
But a lot of them were invited by our presidents, and I can't call them criminals. I can say they should self-deport if they don't have the papers, if they've been here 5 or 10 years. Even Trump said we need to do something about that, because they fit in, they're doing fine, and
right.
It's just, we got to stop it. And I guess the number for May, as far as people who were released back into America, it was 0, Steve.
Wow, that's unreal.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did not see zero. That's we need a law to stop the border. The Republicans are stopping this. No, you didn't. You needed a new president, right?
0, and then in May of 24, which was a year ago, it was 64,000.
Unbelievable.
64,000 people caught and released into America. So to 0.
Yeah.
But they can't do it with our car. I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm telling you, you go back and track it and fact check all you want. The 90% of what the Democrats, the left, has said have been just not true. I mean, just ridiculous. And I think more and more people are recognizing it. Are we still in Joshua in our Bible study?
We are in Joshua, and I'm missing some pretty good stuff talking to you, but it's worth it, Steve.
Okay.
And hopefully, I'll tell you what we got to do. I don't know whether Eddie, I just don't know whether Eddie needs to start yammering like we used to.
Yeah, right, that's true.
And he's working on cases, too, so it's not a whole lot he can talk about. We're going to have to go to Washington and come back and give a second-hand report.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a good idea.
I like that idea.
And then the headphones, they'll probably have those things, those kind of dishes that they point at you while we're eating dinner, but that's okay. We can, they'll pick up their conversation.
Reminds me of the Olympics held in Russia, and Amy Kellogg was doing a live report, television news reporter, and I said, Amy, I've heard that they're listening to you. Don't you have to be careful what you said? And she said, no, they got bigger fish to fry. Click. Hello, Amy? Amy?
It's true.
Amy?
It's true.
She was gone.
And we have the visual of this
unbelievable
vodka drinking, cigarette smoking
it.
guy.
Gotta pull the plug. Pull the plug. Johnny, thank you. I'll let you get back, but thank you. We appreciate your insights.
All righty. Well, I appreciate talking to you, and have a great day. I guess we're getting enough rain for the crop.
Yeah, the growing season's going
and
well.
More rain today. I think it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All righty.
All right,
well, we'll see you 4th of July, Steve.
Yes.
All right, thanks,
excited. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Brother Johnny down in New Orleans.
And at 359-2255, American brutes on the ground in Iran would be a big mistake. Sell Israel the MOB bomb, airplane carrot, let their pilots drop it.
Well, it takes training and all that. You won't get that done in a day. So, yeah, no boots, but maybe the bunker buster. Maybe. Here's Greg Solier with our weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and this Saturday. A couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms here and there on the overnight hours and early on this morning. Activity back to the west, temporarily fading, but it'll come through the area back in this afternoon and a little more solid coverage. And with that, an enhanced risk of maybe some severe weather along the I-55 corridor and points on eastward. In between, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, and humid for the day today. Temperatures up around 86 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will fade later on this evening, turn westerly with scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, low down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity in the air for the day tomorrow. High around 83, but winds will come back around southwest late in the day. Clearing 63 tomorrow night. First day of summertime. Friday evening at 9:42, partly cloudy, warm. Daytime highs up around 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend. The better part of next week as well at 92 on Saturday. Maybe a thunderstorm early morning. Windy, hot, humid Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-90s by day, mid-70s at night. Couple of thunderstorms the second half of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, when REO Speedwagon started, Steve Suderman was working at Good Vibes.
Were you at the show, Steve?
Oh, heck yeah. It was a great show. Yeah. I was sorry to hear about Terry's accident. That was just because I know him a little bit, and I remember talking to him before, it had to be 6 years ago or so, and he said he just got a gig at a Deep Purple cover band. And they were going on cruise ships.
No way.
You hit those high notes like that?
No kidding.
And then COVID hit immediately.
Oh, well, Terry Luttrell was driving to St. Louis, rolled his car. He's going to be fine, but he'll be in the hospital a couple of days. Cracked sternum from the airbag. Terry Luttrell, one of the original guys at REO, did Starcast, all that. But Steve Suderman, man, you've been around all these guys. You know our music scene here in Champaign-Urbana is pretty formidable.
It's
our history.
awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. Well, at Good Vibes, where I can get my big screens, I get all my sound bars, I get everything else. It's an awesome place to go in and browse.
And one thing you can get is some of that vintage audio to play those REO records. We show it right on gvibes.com. We've got a lot of it from estate sales, from people downsizing, and just from people that wanted new stuff. But we've got good working stuff that's selling for pennies on the dollar that is a great way to play your music. It's not streaming. It's not that way. But, old school analog, plenty of that. Another way to get your money's worth is our unsale. I bought Klipsch and Denon and LG and Sony and Paradigm and Marantz as much as the barn would hold and the budget could afford. And we will continue, regardless of what it says on our website, what the prices are, because we have to post the new prices or they'll, cause us legal trouble. We're going to sell that inventory at the old price all the way through July. It probably isn't going to last into August. Some of it will run out before that. You just never know. But there's lots of ways to get your money's worth there, too. And a couple of them, Dish is giving 3 months free. Sign up for Dish, get 3 months free. That's a promotion I've never heard them do before. Meanwhile, Direct's giving you $300 to switch to theirs. So there's some good ways to watch your content at a very, very affordable prices, and there's no better way to watch it than on one of those LG OLED TVs or a Sony OLED TV. We still got the good deals on those as well. So,
well, plenty of reason to go in and find Steve Suderman and check him out. You still got the 98-inch television on the wall?
Heck yeah! I think we got a bite on one of those just for today. So
nice.
Well, we have that in stock.
Oof, it was just fun to see and in your place, it won't look quite as large as it will in my place. When you put it in my house, it'll be, whoa, that thing's big.
Home theater.
We put three 98-inch TVs in Oskies, or above there, at the banquet center, above that.
No kidding. That's awesome.
At the golf course. Yeah, they look like 55s. They're so high.
No,
it's
man.
such a big room. They're high up before.
98-inch television. It looks like a picture frame. All right, how can I find you?
On the web at gvabs.com and physically at 2010 Round Barn and on the phone at 3510909.
All right, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Have a good one, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Steve Suderman, good vibes. Over 50 years of fine service in home theaters and all of that great stuff. Hey, Carpet Weavers, this is Stever. I'm giving out $3,000 when you spend at least $5,000.
My
So say
goodness.
you spend $6,500. It's only $3,500 for you.
616 West Market View Drive in Champaign.
All you got to do is text in Carpet Weavers to be considered 217-359-2255. That would be the Fisher National Bank text line. All right, the news. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Israel made a huge mistake. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is what Iran's Ayatollah is saying today, warning that Israel will be punished. And
Iran's supreme leader sent a message over Iranian TV. He refused President Trump's demand for unconditional surrender and threatened irreparable consequences if the U.S. gets directly involved.
this after Israel attacked Iran again today, hitting nuclear and missile facilities and launchers as President Trump considers joining Israel, destroying Iran's capability to build nuclear weapons. Fox's Mike Tobin also reports from Tel Aviv.
Team of people here in central Israel were sent running for the bomb shelters in the middle of the night with more Iranian ballistic missile attacks. Two attacks came just after midnight local time. The IDF says that several missiles did get through, resulting in damage but no injury.
And as the president considers helping Israel and Iran, some in Congress believe that he has to wait for their authority.
Democratic Senator Tim Kaine insists that Congress must vote. The Constitution mandates that lawmakers decide if the nation goes to war.
How dare we ask people to make the ultimate sacrifice if we don't have the guts to have a debate and decide whether a war is in the interest of this country?
Some conservatives are skeptical of the president wading into a deeper conflict, but most Republicans give deference to President Trump, allowing him to act.
That's Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. In the Senate next hour, the first Republican-led hearing into President Biden's mental fitness while in office and if his administration covered up a cognitive decline. Senate Republicans have made some changes to the House-passed Big Beautiful Bill that funds President Trump's agenda, including extending tax cuts set to expire. But some House Republicans don't like the changes. Congressman Mike Lawler tells Fox Business he cannot support undoing the increase in the House version to state and local tax deductions for taxpayers.
This is an important component to the deal, and my colleagues, whether they like it or not, have to accept it.
He says if the increase is removed, he'll vote against the whole bill. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply. Nobody wants to put a new roof over their head. It's too expensive. And if they can extend the life of that roof and get 5 more years or 10 more years, it's a no-brainer.
What RoofMax does is it helps people in that they don't have to spend that $15,000, $20,000 on a new roof. They can spend pennies on the dollar.
The RoofMax product was a small percentage of cost of replacing a roof.
Call 1-855-RoofMax for a free roof inspection. 855-RoofMax.
A terror suspect has another federal court appearance today in the Boulder, Colorado attack on a crowd of protesters demonstrating in support of the hostages in Gaza. Mohammed Solomon is facing attempted murder and other charges. A jury in Massachusetts will deliberate a third day at Karen Reed's retrial.
Karen Reed is charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence and leaving the scene of a collision resulting in the death of her police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. The first jury to hear her case last year was hung, and this jury asked Tuesday if they find her not guilty on 2 charges, but they are hung on a 3rd charge. Will that result in a hung jury on all the charges?
Well, I think what I could add is this is a theoretical question.
not a question I can answer.
Norfolk Superior Court Judge Beverly Cannoni told Reed's attorneys she can't answer the question because the jury must come to its conclusions based on the evidence, not by weighing any consequences of their verdict. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
We'll hear from the Federal Reserve this afternoon on interest rates after 2 days of assessing the economy. No change is expected despite the pressure President Trump has put on Fed Chair Jerome Powell to slash interest rates by a full percent. On Wall Street, ahead of the Fed, stock futures were up slightly the day after a sell-off. They partied into the night in South Florida. Celebrating another championship after the Panthers once again won hockey's Stanley Cup, beating the same team a second year in a row.
The Panthers dominated the Edmonton Oilers 5-1 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Florida was led by Sam Reinhart, who had 4 goals, tying the record for most in a Stanley Cup Final game. And Panthers goalie Sergei Bobrovsky stopped 28 of the 29 shots he faced to end Edmonton's championship hopes. Sam Bennett was named the Conn Smythe winner after leading the league with 15 goals in the postseason. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
And they are planning a parade to celebrate the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup again Sunday in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A $10.5 million road improvement project starting in Mattoon. IDOT says the project taking place on Illinois Route 16 between Swords Drive and Lakeland Boulevard. It's a distance of 2.5 miles. Project includes patching, resurfacing, intersection improvements, including new signals and sidewalk ramps. Well, Governor Pritzker praising Illinois leaders for passing a balanced budget for the 7th year in a row. He signed the fiscal year 2026 Illinois budget. The $55 billion spending plan includes spending cuts and hundreds of millions of dollars in tax increases on tobacco products, vaping, and online sports books. Herb Jones closing its facility in Champaign next year. Closure is part of plans to expand its operations in Arcola to streamline and modernize its manufacturing footprint. The manufacturer of graduation and achievement products expected to shut down its plant in Champaign in March of next year. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hey, good morning, 8:06. I am Stevie J. Diane Ducey along.
Hello.
It's Wednesday, June 18, my wife's birthday. We're excited about that. We got a celebration today for him. And him, Mike Anderson, turns another year on Friday. Your husband.
He does.
So you got a big party going on. You put together a car show for him. So that was nice of you.
That's right. Cunningham Children's Home on the next day. But actually, the first day of summer, is it the 20th or 21st? I always get confused.
I think it's 21st, isn't it?
It is the 20th.
20th, okay.
It is the 20th, this Friday at 9:42 in the evening.
I am waking up every morning thanking God and just praising the Lord. I have my life, and I love it light at 4 a.m. I just really, and I can tell, I'll kind of open my eye and I'll say, I think I got a half hour left because it's not quite as bright.
Yeah.
But you know what? I understand.
Something about the dawn.
It's going to be dark at 7 a.m. soon, so whatever.
Oh, shh. Don't tell anyone.
It's just.
Is there any more talk on this standard time?
I was just thinking
thing?
that. I would love to say, let's not touch the clock.
Let's just stay where we are.
Stay where we are. Then it's light all year, at least till 6.
Yeah.
I mean, you got that going for you. I'd love that.
I agree.
I think they initially did it to get the kids on the bus and it'd be dark and all that.
That's
I get
right.
It. But anyway, I would love to not touch the clocks and everybody just don't fall back, spring ahead, nothing. Let's go.
No, I agree. Yes.
Of course, around here, it'd get dark at 8 at night in the summer, whatever. Right? So we lose a little of that side. So
we'll live. We'll make it.
That's right. Meteorologist Greg Solier brought to you this morning by Carl.
Grandparent raising grandchildren, you need to sign up for Medicare? Are you an unpaid caretaker with questions? You can contact Chris Healthy Aging Center. They've partnered with Carl, carl.org/services.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist, talk to me. Is it imminent? Are we absolutely getting some rain today, sir?
Yes, absolutely. A little more scattered, random to start. We see that with a little bit of rain and shower activity. Nothing to write home about, but a little bit west or right on Tuscola, Villa Grove, a little something north of about Sierra Gorda, and you get westward, Capitol Airport, seeing a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder there and there north and west, and you build into some a little more steadfast shower activity, still kind of in clustered fashion over the western end of the state out towards Quincy, either side of the river. That's batch number 1. Then we ought to have a line or two come through here this afternoon, depending on how much sun we can get behind behind this morning stuff will be the indicator on how rough it may be this afternoon. We're at least at an enhanced risk from I-55 on east for some stronger storms this afternoon and evening time. A muggy feel out there, but feels kind of nice. I like it this way. 77 at Wood and Savoy, 75 at Rantoul. Later on today, forecast high somewhere in the middle 80s, about 86 we'll call for. And the breeze will be pretty favorable out of the southwest at 15 to 25, and gusty is the late afternoon, whereas into the early evening. Some scattered showers, thunderstorms, speaking of which, this evening, overnight lows down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity, a warm high of 83 tomorrow. There's that summer solstice at 9:42 Friday evening, partly cloudy for the daytime hours, warm and dry at 87, and a hot and humid spell of weather ahead for the weekend. First half, at least, of next week, maybe longer. 92 Saturday, mid-90s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, at least with the heat comes humidity and a couple of thunderstorms next Wednesday and Thursday as well. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm just Greg Solier.
All right, good to have you, Greg. Thank you so much. Good to have accurate weather with Greg Solier and to know exactly what to expect. It looks to me like our farm fields are doing fine. Thank you.
I believe some people have the day off tomorrow with Juneteenth, commemorating the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S. Holiday was first celebrated in Texas, where that date was in 1865.
I don't think the word got out about the Emancipation Proclamation.
Aftermath of the Civil War, enslaved people were declared free under the terms in the 1862 Emancipation Proclamation, but back then, it took a while for the word to get over to Texas, and Juneteenth.
There was no X. There was no Facebook. Nothing like that. Just imagine living that time.
It just seems so ancient when you think of how we didn't have cell phones back in the day.
Well, I mean,
think
of the 80s. We all lived the 80s.
I know.
1990, you didn't have a cell phone. How would you do that?
You just you organized yourself ahead of time and said, I'll meet you at blah, 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 blah,
but
blah, blah.
You needed somebody to answer the phone.
And they were there.
Somebody answered the phone in the office because they had to get the pink slip and then write all that to you about who called, what time they called, what their number is to return their call. We had phone bills that were crazy. When I first started doing talk radio, my phone bill was $600 a month.
Because you had the long distance calls.
And all that stuff. And all that's kind of gone away.
I know it.
It is remarkable. I can't even imagine not being able to look up stuff and now ask Chat GTP the question.
Unbelievable.
It's just, I understand libraries and all that, but for information purposes, do I need a library now?
I know it.
Do I have to go to the Library of Congress?
The Dewey Decimal System, looking up for your report and all of that.
All on my phone.
So I was just looking up who is off. The federal employees get the day off, and I think it's tomorrow and not Friday. Oftentimes we have these holidays and we just kind of work it into our weekend. So it says, though, while some private companies observe Juneteenth, it's not mandated by federal law, so it varies by employer. So
I don't know. All I know is when you get to a day when it's Thursday off, that means tomorrow there's no bank or post office. Or some banks.
It says at least 28 states and the District of Columbia will legally recognize.
Well, we are for sure in a blue state, right? So, okay. So put that in your schedule.
And
can't mail that thing tomorrow. You can't mail it tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's just. Yeah.
You can always chime in 359-2255 here at ESPN 93.5.
Yep. Okay. You can text us anytime. We'd love to hear from you. We've talked a lot about what's going on in Iran and Israel and whether we should drop the bunker buster. And, nobody wants boots on the ground. I think that's pretty safe to say. I don't think we're going to have to. Notice how quiet everybody is on this? They're probably all high-fiving. They can get rid of Iran. This regime is crazy. The Iranian people have been held captive. But Paul Lewis, our friend, who was in Iran, one of the 52 hostages in Iran for 444 days in 1979 and 80. He got there the night before the embassy was stormed, American embassy stormed in Tehran. Many of you are not old enough to know that. And he was held, and he was a Marine who was, arrived the night before. And they stormed the embassy when he's in the shower. So they didn't have any paper on him. They didn't know who he was. Kept him handcuffed behind his back for 45 days. He still has scar marks on his wrist.
I know.
But he used to wiggle out of it and get the handcuffs in front of him. And they do it again, and then they do it again, and then they do, you know. But I saw him in a documentary, and he looked mean. Paul Lewis from Homer, he had a scowl on his face. I said, dude, I'd have stayed away from you too.
Our whole community had the yellow ribbons around the tree waiting for him to come home. And
yeah,
pray.
no, it was an amazing thing. The News Gazette was all over this. His dad worked at the News Gazette. Front page, everything. The great late John Foreman was kind of the PR guy with all the national media and helped Paul coordinate all that. And then Paul Lewis, at first Christmas, they showed all the food and everything, and he realized it was a propaganda piece to show the world how well they were being treated, which wasn't true. Everybody was losing weight, and he wouldn't go along with it. And they threw him in the basement of some building for a couple of months with one blanket and the windows out in the winter. And that's what they did to guys that didn't obey.
Oh, man.
Then when they made the deal, they gave him food. He was able to work out, so they looked right when they came out, and his arms got big again. But during all that time, it was a mental struggle to kind of hang in there and to survive it. Never knowing anything. He had no idea about ribbons, had no idea about anything.
Right.
They had no idea there was anything that was even whipped up, that they even remembered.
That's right.
They had no idea. So anyway, we've been dealing with this since 1979. They've been bullying people, killing people, wanting death to America, wanting death to Israel. You don't have a right to exist. And if they get a nuclear weapon, then we're in trouble. The world's in trouble.
Well, I see Ali Khamenei is, 86 years old, and there was just a quote on the TV in the studio here about, let the battle begin.
Yeah,
So-
what's he talking about? What is he talking about? He's got nothing. You don't have the cards, our president said to Zelensky in the last few months.
But
Iran doesn't have the cards.
how much can he... is he okay? Is he with it when it comes to decisions at the age of 86?
I don't know. They're working out the plan. Does America drop the bunker buster to end their nuclear hopes for decades? Sets them way back, which is the whole point of the thing. And then let's see what happens. Can you get a worse dictator? Maybe. I don't know. But America has not had success placing people in countries we really don't totally understand. All right, wedding season in full swing. I bet you can find a nuptial about everywhere in June for sure. But before you do all that, in the last few weeks, I know it's kind of late, you do want to talk about money.
Yes.
Busey suggests that before you say I do, talk about financial history. Before you merge your money, sit down, talk about it. I know it's uncomfortable, and sometimes that's not the way I do it. Make a list of assets and loans or debt for sure. Discuss earnings and additional sources of income. You budget, you bank account it, you do all this stuff. Are we having the same? How's this working? Make a list of short and long-term financial goals so you're kind of both in agreement. Where do you see yourself next year, 5 years from now? Resolve outstanding credit and debt issues. Identify potential problems, resolve them now rather than later. When you're just starting out, Busey can provide an array of solutions tailored to your specific needs. No matter your stage in life, Busey will be there along the way. Visit Busey.com. Stop by one of their many convenient locations for solutions to your personal, business, and wealth management needs. Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC, 60 seconds of sports headlines.
Thank you. Looks like the Thunder and Pacers will be going at it tomorrow at 7:30. Oklahoma City leading that series 3-2. When it comes to basketball, Coach Brad Underwood throwing out the first pitch at Wrigley yesterday on the Illini night, and the Cubs win. Go, Cubs, go. And waving that white flag with a big blue W at Wrigley, and lots of Illini fans with their new cap on their head. 5-3 was the final over the Brewers, and we'll have a game starting at just after 6 tonight, I believe, on US 105.9. We have Sonny Gray on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals as they take on the Chicago White Sox, taking on Sean Burke on the bump. That's a 6:40 start here on ESPN 93.5. 12-2 was the final yesterday as the Cardinals had a lot of big hits. Florida Panthers taking home the Stanley Cup, bringing home the hardware in a repeat fashion. Hasn't happened in a while, I believe in the late 70s. 4-2 was the series finale as the Florida Panthers beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-1 yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to go to Facebook and wish my wife a happy birthday, it just popped up. She's having a birthday today.
Yay,
so
Janet!
Do that.
Awesome.
Anybody knows Janet knows that she's an unbelievable person. Great wife, great mom, great grandmother now. So, yeah, we're so happy.
Just ran over to our text line, 359-2255, and seeing a few more carpet weavers come in.
$3,000 off a purchase of 5. That's $2,000 for your $5,000. Come on, man.
That's
text
right.
217-359-2255. We check your weather, and it's brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you the Juneteenth celebration going on tonight. New Souls will be performing. We'll learn more from Mark Schultz with the Urbana Park Districts about the festivities this evening.
Pretty solid light or two may come through the area with variably cloudy skies in between, up around 86 and a gusty southwesterly wind. We're in at least an enhanced risk of severe weather this afternoon along and east of the I-55 corridor. For tonight, scattered showers, thunderstorms this evening. Windy early on as well, low down to about 66. That gusty southwest wind will diminish and turn westerly. Good looking, fine feeling days worth of weather tomorrow. Humidity down, sunshine. Afternoon temperatures up to around 83. Light northwesterly winds will shift around southwest of the afternoon. Clear and 63 tomorrow night. First day of summertime. Clocks in 9:42 Friday evening. Partly cloudy for the daylight hours. Warm at 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend. The better part of next week as well. 92 on Saturday. Maybe a thunderstorm early. Hot and humid and windy at times. Sunday through Tuesday. Mid-90s by day. Mid-70s at night. A couple of thunderstorms next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There were fewer people filing for unemployment benefits in the week ending June 13th. New claims declined by 5,000 to 245,000. The number matched economists' predictions and remains in a higher range than earlier this year. The prior week's new claims number was revised higher to 250,000, an 8-month high. The number of those remaining on benefits moderated. Continuing claims declined 6,000 to 1.94 million. Also released this morning, another sign of the housing market slump continuing. May housing starts groundbreakings declined 9.8%, and building permits for new construction were down 2%. The Federal Reserve's meeting wraps up today, but the Fed is not expected to lower interest rates. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
When looking for a bank, you deserve the best. Philo Exchange Bank is a Best of Bauer bank rated 5 stars in financial strength and stability for over 28 consecutive years. Banking with us means you're banking with one of the strongest banks in the nation. Visit any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands to experience the best firsthand.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Healthy Living Spas invite you to the 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this Friday through Sunday at Carl at the Fields in Champaign. 3 days only with unbeatable deals. Save an extra $500 on any hot tub or $1,000 on any swim spa. Special financing available too. Doors open Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 11 to 7, and Sunday noon to 5. The 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo, this weekend at Carl at the Fields in Champaign.
Well, it's our friend Mark Schultz, Urbana Park District. You got a new CEO, Rachel Lenz. Have you met Rachel and have you told her this is how it works? I've been here a minute. Here's what we do, huh?
Good morning. Yes, I met Rachel Lenz. We're very excited to have her on board, and I think I'll let her get her get her legs before I tell her what's what.
Yeah, because you Mark Schultz knows what's what, baby. You know what a holding call is and an offsides and everything else too.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Rachel's a college women's college basketball official. I'm trying to get her out on the football field.
Right.
Really?
I want to say she was probably like 6'3" or so.
What?
She was long and lean. It was
Holy
good
cow.
to meet her at Neighborhood Nights last week.
I need her to go to officiate all the Indiana Fever games. They are beating up the Golden Goose. They're unbelievable what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw video of that last night. My goodness,
Caitlin Clark's getting beat up.
I know. There was a little bit of a spat after.
But what are you doing? You're all going to Michael Jordan it. You're all going to make more money. What are you doing?
Fever came out on top 88-71 over Connecticut.
It's rough. So that's great. I didn't know Rachel Lenz was a college official. That's cool.
Well, and Tim Bartlett's such a great leader for 35 years or so he's been involved in Urbana Parks. Wow.
Yep. So, we're going to miss him, but excited to have Rachel.
Mark Schultz, Juneteenth, what you got?
All right, tonight in Prairie Park, that's right next to our Health and Wellness Center, between the Brookins Center and Preston Williams Elementary, from 5:30 until 8 p.m. We have Mama Duke's Food and Sweets from Sugar Shy. We have a New Souls concert. They're hip-hop, R&B, lots of fun. They start at 6:30. And so we have food, games, fun, connections, all sorts of information for communities, for neighborhoods, celebrating Black freedom and accomplishments. So tonight in East Urbana, we're looking forward to it. And this one goes on rain or shine. Normally we have a rain date for neighborhood nights, but if we have rain tonight, we're going to move inside to our brand new Health and Wellness Center. So come on out, rain or shine. We're going to have some fun.
What's the Health and Wellness Center have within, Mark? I know on the opening day you and I saw each other and we're next to the veggie tray there, but explain it to people who haven't checked it out yet.
The Health and Wellness Center has 2 gyms with basketball, volleyball, pickleball. We also have actually exercise rooms, bikes, treadmills. We have some free weights, weight room. We have a walking track inside. So it's all a very good, brand new facility. People can come in for $5 a day, or they can get a membership. If they plan to use it several times, the membership will pay for itself. So lots of ways that you can stay healthy and play games on the inside. And the Health and Wellness Center is open 7 days a week. So, and it's going to be our rain date facility tonight for Juneteenth.
Okay, so 2002 East Washington Street is the Health and Wellness Center, 6 a.m. to 8:30 weekdays and 8 to 5 on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 on Sunday. And you have a proclamation from the mayor of Urbana also at 6:15?
Proclamation from the mayor for Juneteenth. We're very excited that the mayor will come out for the proclamation, and all sorts of fun, all sorts of games, all sorts of neighborhood connections. So we're excited to put it on.
Well, good to hear your voice, Mark Schultz. What's the status of your family? Your kids are probably teenagers by now, huh?
Yeah, a little more than teenagers. They're Julia is home for the summer. She's 20. She just finished sophomore year of college.
What?
Ben starts senior year in high school this fall, and I'm in denial.
Man, where'd that go? Where'd that time go, man?
I know. I remember I remember saying, Stevie, I'm not going to make it into work today. I got a new baby boy.
Well, and plus, I remember you finding your wife and getting married. I mean, that was
we were there for that
a week ago, man. What's going on here?
Time flies and it's getting faster. I don't know what's going on.
Mark Schultz, thank you for the information. Go Urbana Park District.
That's right.
Thank you much. Have a great day.
You as well. Mark Schultz over Urbana Park District.
UrbanaParks.org.
Good man. Mm-hmm. I've always liked him.
That's right.
All right. And we've known him for...
I mean, I feel like decades, but...
Well, it has been. 90s.
And then you stepped out on your own, Stevie J Broadcasting, in 2010?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's unbelievable.
Kind of a legacy in broadcasting, Stevie. Good job.
I don't think so, but thanks anyway. That and $8 gets you Starbucks.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. There's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with one of the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. We can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is defiant in a national address about war with Israel.
He refused President Trump's demand for unconditional surrender and threatened irreparable consequences if the U.S. gets directly involved. Israeli fighter jets were busy in the skies over Iran last night. They hit 5 attack helicopters that were on the ground, according to the IDF, as well as production sites and launchers for ballistic missiles, also key nuclear enrichment sites.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv, Israel. There's a Senate hearing this morning about allegations of former President Biden's mental decline and cover-up.
This is an open hearing today. The closed-door depositions start to begin next week on the House side. There are no former Biden officials testifying at the hearing today. It's a joint hearing with the Judiciary Committee. John Cornyn of Texas and Eric Schmidt of Missouri will chair.
It's Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change your car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Governor Pritzker praising Illinois leaders for passing a balanced budget for the 7th year in a row. He signed the fiscal year 2026 Illinois budget. The $55 billion spending plan includes spending cuts and hundreds of millions of dollars in tax increases on tobacco products, vaping, and online sports books. Herb Jones closing its facility in Champaign next year. Closure is part of plans to expand its operations in Arcola to streamline and modernize its manufacturing footprint. The manufacturer of graduation and achievement products expected to shut down its plant in Champaign in March of next year. A $10.5 million road improvement project starting in Mattoon. IDOT says the project taking place on Illinois Route 16 between Swords Drive and Lakeland Boulevard. It's a distance of 2.5 miles. Project includes patching, resurfacing, intersection improvements, including new signals and sidewalk ramps. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
All right, it's Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel. We love talking to you about Dedicated Diesel. What's news there?
I've got something. I'm tired of looking at this Dixie Chopper Classic 4060 industrial unit. It's got 58 hours on it. It's basically brand new. The MSRP on that unit is $19,273. The MAP price on it, minimum price that we're allowed to advertise, is $14,577. Somebody's going to walk away with that for $11,000. We're going to take $8,000 or $9,000 off of that and just get rid of it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a $20,000 machine, and I can get this for essentially half off.
Yep, this is a Dixie Chopper Classic. It's got a 40 horsepower Kawasaki engine, 60-inch deck on it. Comes with all the warranty, $11,000, walk out the door. Call Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can email me at timo@gftlog.com. Get more information, whatever you want to do, we'll get that to you.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and this Saturday. A couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms here and there on the overnight hours and early on this morning. Activity back to the west, temporarily fading, but it'll come through the area back in this afternoon and a little more solid coverage. And with that, an enhanced risk of maybe some severe weather along the I-55 corridor and points on eastward. In between, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, and humid for the day today. Temperatures up around 86 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will fade later on this evening, turn westerly with scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, low down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity in the air for the day tomorrow, high around 83, but winds will come back around southwest late in the day. Clearing 63 tomorrow night, first day of summertime, Friday evening at 9:42, partly cloudy, warm, daytime highs up around 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend, the better part of next week as well at 92 on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm early morning, windy, hot, humid Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-90s by day, mid-70s at night, couple of thunderstorms the second half of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Hey Illini fans, it's Luke Altmaier here, starting quarterback for your Fighting Illini football team.
Get to him, he's going to run right, he's in! Touchdown! Touchdown, Illinois! Luke Altmaier, what a throw by Altmaier!
Altmaier's big time. We invite you to be a part of the action this year at Memorial Stadium. After a 10-win season and a Citrus Bowl victory, get your season tickets now for 2025 and make this season unforgettable.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
8:38 ESPN 93.5, final segment of our program. We have the clip. I want to play it again. I didn't play it all. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger The former governor of California, the former world champion bodybuilder, movie star, Terminator.
Sure, Terminator and Commander. What? Predator was another one.
Okay.
In any case, all those great Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
Yeah, he did a comedy with where there was a present under the tree of his neighbor.
And he was trying to find, it was Matthew Broderick. Was the neighbor.
Anyway, it was a comedy where he had to get the toy that his son wanted so bad and he waited too long and all that stuff. Sinbad, I think, was in it. That's going back. So here's Arnold Schwarzenegger on The View. The View did not get what they wanted out of him. In fact, Sonny Hostin, when he was near the end of this...
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way, thank you. When Sonny Hostin put her hand on his arm, as if to say, okay, that's fine.
Oh.
But he kept going. So here's Arnold, and tell me what doesn't make 100% perfect sense out of this.
If you are an immigrant, you're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Yeah. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity. And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do, on July 4th, a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon. Where George Washington was laid to rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech there. They asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. And this is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs.
What's wrong with that?
Olympics, whatever it is. Make this possible.
Everything there is perfect sense. Have decency. Have responsibility for yourself. Be a guest. Wow, I'm sure the view was... in fact, Whoopi, I saw her face. She, this isn't what we wanted.
Right.
This wasn't what we were looking for.
Well, they're trying to interrupt him while he was talking.
No, he kept it going.
Joy was...
that is, yeah. No, it's not what they were looking for. They were looking for an angry Terminator about ICE and the evil people in law enforcement. That wasn't what he was going to give. That's good stuff.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Check your sports headlines with Diane.
Thank you, Stevie. We've got the St. Louis Cardinals winners over the Chicago White Sox 12-2 yesterday. Sonny Gray on the mound, 6:40 start here on ESPN 93.5. Jamison Talion on the mound for the Cubs as the series against the Brewers continues. And 5-3 winners yesterday on Illini night with Coach Brad Underwood with the first pitch. I'm not sure who was on singing doozy for the seventh inning stretch, but that's usually something from the Illini too, and a lot of great fans wearing a new cap today, I'm sure.
I bet Brad got it there.
You think so?
Yep.
He was practicing. They put that on social media.
No, I know that. I bet he did, yeah.
Florida Panthers taking home hardware again. A repeat performance with the Stanley Cup, beating the Edmonton Oilers 5-1 yesterday in 4-2 games. Chris Thomas hired Meredith Shamoun as an associate head coach to take over where Krista Hendrickson tiptoed out earlier this week, I believe, in Washington, where she went to school. We also had Indiana Fever come up in conversation today, beating the Connecticut Sun 88-71, and people are being mean girls to our
I just don't
Caitlin
get
Clark.
it. It didn't make any business
I know.
sense. You just got to get over your jealousy, girls. I saw Steve Emke drive by waving.
Okay,
and
hi,
there was
Steve.
670,000 miles.
I think
on that truck. She's a beaut.
Rolling down the window to
Anybody
wave
who
to
wants
us.
a used truck that says Spring Green on the side, he'll sell it to you for $10,000 today.
That's right.
It's a collector's item. He'd be at the car show at Cunningham.
There you go.
All right, we're back in a
Saturday.
second. Stand by.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.
Was in the heating and air conditioning business for approximately 30 years and then retired in 2021. So I came out of retirement because I'm very big on taking care of our local community. The most satisfying part of my job is when I know that I've done the right thing for the customer, taking care of the customer's happy, and when I walk out the door that I'm not afraid to put a sign out in front of their house that says, "This job was done by Chuck Thompson, Classic Plumbing and Air."
Visit them at classicplum.com.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's BERGtanksinc.com.
Healthy Living Spas invite you to the 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this Friday through Sunday at Carl at the Fields in Champaign. 3 days only with unbeatable deals. Save an extra $500 on any hot tub or $1,000 on any swim spa. Special financing available too. Doors open Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 11 to 7, and Sunday noon to 5. The 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo this weekend at Carl at the Fields in Champaign.
Dylan Logue has jumped in because he's with Healthy
Living Pool and Spa.
4th Annual Hot Tub Expo. So what's a hot tub cost? Like 10 grand? I have no idea.
It ranges, you starts off at like 5,000 and goes up from there. And
yeah, can I get the swimming thing like Michael Phelps?
Oh yeah, the swim spas, hell yeah, they're huge, and you can work out, you can
get
relax,
your current to go up against when you're swimming.
Yeah, it's all low impact workouts, so it's easy to recover, and you got a hot tub side where you can get some therapy as well.
Yeah,
awesome.
All right.
Now that one's a little more than $5,000.
Well, yeah,
yeah, that one's a little bit more. Absolutely.
But it's cheaper than probably your fancy big swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, swimming pools are getting into 6 digits, and we're well below that.
Yeah.
It's heated year round,
right?
Easy to maintain.
No question. Yeah. Okay, so special financing available. You can save an additional $1,000 on any swim spa. If you would like to know more about this, you need to show up June 20, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Carl at the Fields. They'll see the tent. There'll be signs, right?
Oh yeah, there'll be signs everywhere, and you should see the big white tent, and as you're pulling up,
pretty cool location right off Staley and Curtis Road, or I-57. You get off at the Curtis Road exit. So Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 11 to 7, and noon to 5 on Sunday, with Healthy Living Pool and Spa giving you so many great deals, because you're essentially bulk buying from Fort Wayne, Indiana, right? Made right here in America.
Yeah, so we buy up about 40 of these models. We bring them in, and the savings we get, we pass on down to the customer, and everybody wins. And we'll have some models filled up, so bring your swim trunks and try some out. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tim, you've been in there about an hour and a half, buddy. Come on out.
That's right.
Hey, dude.
Oh, there's some kicking out we got to do sometimes, for sure. They don't want to get out.
Okay, do you want to buy it? No, I'm good. What the heck?
I just want to try it,
Man, I got to put more chlorine because of you, man.
Exactly.
That's right.
Clean the filters and everything.
We want you to go see it, but if you do want to try them, I mean, some of the Jets action stuff different from tub to tub. You can get probably 2-seater, even a 10-seater. I mean, how big do they get?
You can go from a 2 to 3-seater all the way up to 6 to 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have one of the biggest footprints on the market. It's an 8-foot by 9-foot spa, and it fits probably about 8 or 9. I mean, you can squeeze it in, and and Michael Phelps is our brand ambassador, so we got one model that's 8 foot by 9 foot. That's 3 pumps. I mean, it's top of the line, and this weekend's going to have some good pricing on it.
That's right. So. And if you're a person who suffers like I do with lower back issues and things like that,
helps.
I constantly just ask every time I go to a hotel, do you have a hot tub?
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, why don't you get your own hot tub?
Exactly.
And do it this weekend, the 4th Annual Hot Tub Expo, 3 days only, June 20 through 22. Again, if it's at Carl at the Fields, very easy access. You can't miss the tent. They'll have some water in some of them. You walk around, ask about the deals, and you deliver, I presume?
Yeah, we'll deliver from the show this weekend.
Can you set it up?
Oh, yeah.
Hook it up?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know anything about all that stuff.
Yeah, so we'll deliver it for you, orientate the spa the right way. And we can refer an electrician to you.
Yeah, need an electrician.
And the plumbing and stuff, too.
Oh, yeah.
But I would put it right behind my bathroom on the patio.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
I should get this going.
Get it going.
Yep,
and I love supporting Christian and Preston, those brothers.
Amazing.
And when we met them, they were on Monticello Slab there as you head into town.
Yeah.
Now they're over in Muhammad, right?
Their story is amazing. Yeah, they started Monticello, started with 4 hot tubs and sold those, bought 4 more, and now they're selling 400 a year.
Exactly.
Dylan, is there a website I can get information at all or find out more?
Yeah, healthylivingspas.com. Come check it out, or come down and visit 203 Adams Street in Muhammad. We'll be happy to help you guys out.
Super. Right. Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for running in.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much.
Dylan Logue, ESPN 93.5.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and this Saturday. A couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms here and there on the overnight hours and early on this morning. Activity back to the west, temporarily fading, but it'll come through the area back in this afternoon and a little more solid coverage. And with that, an enhanced risk of maybe some severe weather along the I-55 corridor and points on eastward. In between, variably cloudy, breezy, warm, and humid for the day today. Temperatures up around 86 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will fade later on this evening, turn westerly with scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening, low down to 66. Sunshine, less humidity in the air for the day tomorrow, high around 83, but winds will come back around southwest late in the day. Clear and 63 tomorrow night, first day of summertime, Friday evening at 9:42, partly cloudy, warm, daytime highs up around 87. Here comes the heat for the weekend, the better part of next week as well at 92 on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm early morning, windy, hot, humid Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-90s by day, mid-70s at night, couple of thunderstorms the second half of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Muhammad.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs with your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event is going on now at Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
Tired of trying to keep up with Old Man Jones and his perfect lawn? Spring Green knows that we can't all spend hours a day creating that perfect shade of green, killing off all that crabgrass, and making sure every insect in the neighborhood doesn't call your lawn home this year. At Spring Green, they take the hassle out of your lawn headache with services such as lawn fertilization, weed control, grub and insect control, lime treatments, and even bush and tree care. Let the experts at Spring Green help you this season. For more information, visit them at spring-green.com. Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team.
All right, we will hold on. One more. Hold on.
Okay.
We will be back tomorrow, God willing.
Yes.
We'll be on. John Decker, White House correspondent, national correspondent for Great Television, will be amongst.
Sounds good.
And looking forward to picking his brain about what's going on. A lot going on. Lot going on.
Absolutely.
In the world we're living in right now. So we'll get into some of that tomorrow at 7 a.m. Boys, this afternoon on The Drive. What's going on with Illinois? They're playing basketball.
That's right.
They started, so we'll do that. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Meet you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus. Barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
We're back. We have Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the back?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say,
wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable